Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. Excuse my hair. It is what it is today. Um, I straightened it this morning, and it was a big poof before I straightened it, so of course it's just whoosh. But, I don't know, we might be having some, I don't know if we're still having Santa Anas, but, oh, the Santana wins. But probably butchered that, I know. Anyways, since it is the Aloha Perspective, good morning, older sibling. I thought, why not shift to the other deck, which is actually like Hawaiian-y, right? My Aloha-y stuff. So, anyways, let's pull some cards here. I kept forgetting to read the card from my trip that I was supposed to read like 2 weeks ago and totally forgot about. But I figure today I accidentally pulled it out, and so I thought, well, they just kind of happen when they happen, right? So you just got to do what you got to do. And so let's see. Let's pull some. Oh, there's a very non-Aloha card, but all good. All good. This coconut keeps popping up, so I'm going to pull that out too. Let's see. What do we got for people today? What do they need to hear? Papaya. Do not worry. Do not worry. Be happy. I want a donut now. It's that easy. It is that easy. Good morning, baby sibling. So, whoop, whoop. Oh, look. Okay. The card I'm about to show is for one specific person, and she'll know who she is, but it's being thanks T, and it's being sent from a loved one to her. You know who you are. They got your back, all right, and they're looking out for you and making sure everything's going to be okay. So let's see. Whoa, I'm not pulling that many cards today. I actually have things to talk about. I was so off yesterday. I was everywhere in yesterday's perspective. I started in on one subject and finished with a completely different one. So today I'm going to revisit it just a bit. Yeah, you knew. That's for you, sweet girl. So, yeah, and you know who it's from. Aw. And I'll be damned if that dude isn't fucking with me right now. Come on, man. Come on, man. But, I'm in a mood today. I've been up since about 5. I fell asleep at the ass crack of nighttime. Not even dawn. It was literally I don't know. It was early. It was early for me. But, oh, Brian. Brian is one of those angels that you really just like having on your side. However, let's get going. So, all right. Wall of water. There's going to be a lot of you who are literally teetering between the ocean or the Sea of Misery and the Ocean of Bliss. That's where this comes in. This is that wall of water you got to get through, right? Over here is the Ocean of Bliss. Over here is the Sea of Misery. And you're like, how the hell am I going to get over that? And you if you're not ready, you're going to keep surfing that wave back, right? But, baby sibling, said this was his favorite time of year because of food. And also because, in November is also Movember, so he could grow his beard and not have to shave it for work. But, I remember. And I have to say, a beard really suited him. So, good morning, Ladina. So, here's your wall of waves, okay? A wall of water made of crashing waves separates you from the Ocean of Bliss. Have the courage to face the storm and sail out of the Sea of Misery. You can do this. Be brave and sail forth. I wrote this, but it's been a while since I've seen it. I have a funny feeling somebody else knows exactly who this is for. So, I'm going to read this again. A wall of water made of crashing waves separates you from the Ocean of Bliss. Have the courage to face the storm and sail out of the Sea of Misery. You can do this. Be brave and sail forth. I got your back, whoever needs that. A little ukulele. Most people die with their music still locked up inside of them. Benjamin Disraeli. Most people do die sometimes with their music still locked up inside of them. Don't let your music be locked up inside of you, okay? Let it be free. Let it go. Let it go. So, anyways, older sibling, I'm not sure which card you're talking about, but sure. So anyways, and also guys, if I show a card and it seems specific to someone else, but it resonates with you, just go with it. Just take it. Just do all the things. Oh, and as you can see, I'm home and I have a piece of hair that just will not give up. But, be rad. Be rad, dude. Totally. Like, for sure. Well, that's a Valley Girl thing, isn't it? But it's still the 80s. Too rad to be sad. What other people think of you is not your business. Be your rad self. Okay? Yeah, older sibling, it could be that. Just be careful because this card is actually talking about, well, yeah, you know what though? Yeah, you know what? Embrace it. Go from the sea of misery to the ocean of bliss. Be brave and sail forth. So have complete faith and complete belief in exactly what it is that you want. Okay? Feel the energy. Put the energy out there. Just imagine it is yours. All right? And again, too rad to be sad. What other people think of you is not your business. Be your rad self. Be your rad self. I'm going to cover a few subjects today, and one of them, I'm not really sure I want to, but I'm going to. This one, okay, this one I know is from Brian to Marie, because it is legit, like, on the top of the deck. Okay, I just want to show you guys. All the cards are face up. This one was facing this way. It's the sun. Even in your darkest moments, the sun continues to shine. Keep moving forward. Do not give up. So, there you go. The toucan, like Toucan Sam. Communication, showy, showmanship, need to be seen, good fortune or luck. Oh, that's a good one. Da, 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 da. Just don't let it poo on you because that's a big ass bird. Even though that is good luck. It is time to step out of the shadows and be seen. Let yourself shine. Stage fright, fear of public speaking, call upon the toucan totem to see you through. So again, it's time to step out of the shadows and be seen. Let yourself shine. Stage fright, fear of public speaking, call upon the toucan totem to see you through. I'm going to take that one for me. Badge of honor. But that's for everybody, right? These are all for everybody, guys. So, I know you do, baby sibling. I know you do. He was a good dude. He was a very good dude. So this one is staring at me too. I still want a donut. Donut worry, be happy. So instead of worrying about what you cannot control, shift your energy to what you create. Ooh. So again, instead of worrying about what you cannot control, shift your energy to what you create. Roy T. Bennett, The Light in the Heart. That's a really good one. That is like slap you in the face this week. For some of us, if we keep worrying about what we don't want to happen, we are going to make it happen. So shift your energy to what you want to create. Okay, shift your energy. You can make whatever you want happen to happen. Once you shift your energy in the right direction, you can control situations. Okay, you can control whatever it is that you're being forced with, that you're being forced to be, deal with, and do it. So, we should eat one in his honor. I think I might. Good morning, Shannon. Okay, I have to take a side note here. So, in Shannon's profile picture, I noticed that her and my cousin, who I'm actually related to, are wearing hockey jerseys. I just have to say, her damn team beat my team last night. I'm not happy about it, but it's okay. Because, it's sports. I don't think we ever beat the damn Nashville Predators. I don't like them. I do not like them. So, but anyways, good win. I do like the Avalanche though. They're not one of my top. They're in my top 3, okay, of teams. I even have my Patrick Waugh jersey, ironically signed by Joe Sakic. Yeah, go figure that one out. Hockey fans will know that one. But hey, there are 2 big signatures on that jersey. I gotta frame it before someone steals it. Because older sibling also got Patrick Waugh to sign it for me. So anyways, that I know that went over a lot of heads, but I know at least 2 people on here who know exactly what I'm talking about. So anyways, the Monstera leaf. Honor, respect, longevity, family history. I'm not sure where family history comes into that, but honor, respect, and longevity. Which one is Sakic or Waugh? I like them both. But, and in fact, I have to say, a couple of times when we went to the Kings games, because older sibling's also a Kings fan, I'm a Ducks fan, we ran into Joe Sakic. Yeah, Patrick Waugh. I am a straight up goalie fan, girl. I mean, it is in my Twitter handle. Goalie fan 1973. But, yeah, I am a huge goalie fan. Jaguar, Brodeur, Patrick Waugh. Okay, oh yeah, all the French Canadians. But, but not just them, okay? One of my other favorites, I have a lot of favorite goalies. I do not like Pekka Rinne, okay? Here we go again, all right? So, of course he was your favorite. So, anyways, I'm sorry. We're having like a total conversation here about hockey, but it does bring me joy. Let's just say, I used to call him he was like a big Wookiee. I mean, that guy was huge. I mean, how do you get anything past somebody that literally is the size of the net? I mean, he was like 10 feet tall. So anyways, the coconut. So you know what? This is funny. I have to tell you. So Shannon and Andrew are like very brand new family. I mean, obviously they're in the tree. Okay. They're in the family tree, but they're very new family. No, girl, I'm back home. So, I'm back home, but I'll be back. So anyways, yeah, but I mean, look, how is it that our three of our favorite position is goalies? I feel so loved and accepted now. I feel like I belong in this family now. Anyway. So, I know, you know what, I think by next week, I'll be back to normal, guys. My brain is still just not firing on all cylinders. I'm finally decompressing from last week. I haven't really talked to my dad yet today, but he seems like he's better, you know, and when I left him yesterday, he was a lot better. But, yeah, this is a holiday week, so it's just nuts. But the coconut, considered a fruit of the gods, when one smashes a coconut, it is the equivalent of smashing the ego, which gives way to inner purity and knowledge symbolized by the white fruit. Let go of fear and embrace your life. This really kind of goes with the donut card, okay? Don't ask me how a donut card ended up in basically a Hawaiian-themed deck that I created, but donuts. Who doesn't love donuts? So again, instead of worrying about what you cannot control, shift your energy to what you create. Roy T. Bennett, right? And considered a fruit of the gods, when someone smashes a coconut, it is the equivalent of smashing the ego. The ego is what is in charge of, you know, trying to control everything. The ego is what brings out the fear and the worry and all that stuff. So, you know, when you smash that, you're smashing the ego, which gives way to inner purity and knowledge symbolized by the white fruit. If you have to be symbolic, go out and buy a coconut and slam it against a rock. Okay? I'm a big rock, obviously, because, you know, coconuts are hard to break. And then let go of fear and embrace your life, right? And when you're done, go and have a coconut alcoholic drink, because that will help. I know I'm no help. I'm just full of bad suggestions this morning. Good morning, Lori. Papaya. The papaya. Yeah, I'm not even going to go where I was going with that thought. But anyways, papaya, good health, inner peace, and happiness. This is the big card after this one and after this one. This is telling you that if you follow these 2 things, okay, and you continue to shine bright, that you're going to have good health, inner peace, and happiness. There are many things you are doing at this present time, and all of them are flourishing well. flourishing well, keeping you content. What? I don't even know what I write sometimes. Keeping you content. You are being blessed with a lot of good times. Embrace this good fortune. Again, good health, inner peace, and happiness. There are many things you are doing at this present time, and all of them are flourishing. Keeping you content. You are being blessed with a lot of good times. Embrace this good fortune. Don't let people steal your thunder. And, I see, keeping you well and content. All right, I know. My dyslexia got the better of me on that card. But, it happens, right? Can't help what my brain does. But it is a fun place to be. So, everybody wants to be in here. Everybody wants to be in here seeing what's going on. Just watch your step, because, it could get dangerous. But, I also wanted to read the cards I was talking about, guys. That when I took that trip with my dad and I was sending stuff home with me, it's Tuesday thoughts. Tuesday thoughts are everywhere. I went in 12 million directions yesterday. I don't even know how I managed that, but I did. And I touched on like a bazillion different things and forgot to finish a bazillion and one different subjects. Sorry. I'm just kind of moving at my own pace today, so you get what you get. I put all my love into the Aloha Perspective, but everything I do and fidgety and all that other stuff, that's just, it happens. It happens. Maybe I'm fidgety because there's something I need to talk about today that might actually be, again, different from the other subjects. And it is going to focus on healing. It is going to focus on healing, but it might get a little, I'm hoping it doesn't go dark, but it might get dark. So anyways, I wrote myself this card from Bryce Canyon National Park. This is from day 7, 8, and 9 of my road trip. Well, it actually ended up being day 7 and 8, because there was no TV in our national park hotel room. So my dad said, we're leaving. We stayed 2 days. The night we got there, the day we spent there, and the next day we were supposed to stay too. But he's like, nope, we're out. So we headed to Zion ASAP. Okay, to a hotel with a TV in the room. Although I have to say, they also had an indoor pool. So colored me happy. Got the jacuzzi all to myself. So, again, this was from my road trip 2 years ago with my dad. 2 years ago, this last October. So I wrote to myself, continue to remember who you are. You're not any different from the person you were years ago. You just realized your importance in this world and how much you mean to other people. You're becoming accepting of your gifts and your talents as well. Remember, when you feel broken, it's just your soul reshaping itself for yet another transformation. That's crazy. This was literally sitting at the bottom of my book pile over here, a notebook pile, like when I take my notes and stuff. And I ended up waking up about 5 o'clock this morning. And this is the Floof book, all right? Operation Feral Floof. Operation Feral Floof, I know. I'm like in high school, right? Operation Feral Floof is it's a notebook that I'm writing in to really kind of tap deeper into my shadow self. And my shadow self is that inner child that's still healing, that has a lot of trigger memories that are coming up, that has a lot of bad things that keep surfacing. When things begin to surface, it's because you're at that point now where you can handle it. Where, and if you can't, it's telling you, look, you need to start learning how to handle this, or you're never going to heal. You're never going to be able to move forward. This week is going to be a very interesting week. Okay, I'm just going to say this Thanksgiving is going to be a very interesting Thanksgiving. I kind of touched base on it yesterday. I'm a little nervous about it. But I am trying to manifest a good day. I'm trying to manifest, to just create in my mind just this great day minus some interpersonal interruptions, for lack of a better way to put it. It's going to be hard, I think, because it's the first time that I'm really going to have to face a boundary I created. You know, it's been easy before because I didn't have to face it. And it's really not a boundary that I personally needed to create. I created it because I don't need bad things in my life. And it's hard when you know a lot more than other people know, you know, and it can be painful and it can be hurtful. And also there's concerns because there's other people involved that I am concerned about. There are other people involved that I, you know, don't need my protection, but I still feel like that older sibling bear, that, you know, mama bear mode that needs to protect, you know, and to make sure that they're okay. So I realize now that the only way I can do this is to just be there. Just have their back. When they need me, they will come get me. But, you know, I've got the shield ready to go. Pow. You know, and, but at the same time, it also kind of shows your strengths. You know, the reason I'm reading these cards is, yes, they were sent to myself. They were directed at me. But they kind of encompass everybody. And I think the reason I wanted to write from each place where I was at was because we went to all these really beautiful national parks. I mean, we went to Yosemite, mountains to the sky, okay? Dad and I then went to Lake Tahoe, you know, big lake in the sky. But when it comes down to it, you know, when we went to Bryce, there was something just so spectacular about it. It was like, it was almost like the Grand Canyon. You know, you have the red rocks, you have all these caverns, you have all these canyons. But there was something there that you could just feel, this energy, this beautiful, beautiful energy. It was cold AF, okay? And I loved it. It was windy AF. I mean, one day I literally had to push my door. I had to fight with my door to get out of the car. And my dad, I'll stay here. Let me know if there's anything to see. Let me know if it's anything different than we've already seen. Because now I don't want to get out there. It's cold. It's like, okay, fine, I'll go. But what was nice was that I think he knew subconsciously that this was healing for me. This was a healing trip for me. We took this trip literally 3 weeks after I got let go from my job, when my position was eliminated. And after 15 years, I was like, where am I going in life? What am I doing? And yesterday, I know I talked about how this journey has been like a process. You have your planning stages, you have your building stages. Losing my job was like them hitting the ignition for that rocket to take off. You know, and up until a few days ago, I think that rocket just sat there. It was burning, you know, it was like, all right, we're in the T-minus a billion days until we take off. But it was in countdown mode. And then when you're ready, you hit the ignition, right? When all systems are go, you hit that button and you go. Now, if I had been faced with the situation I'm faced with this week, a year ago, I probably would have lost my shit. I would have been like, nope, not going. I'm just going to go to my dad's house. I'll have my own Thanksgiving. But I realize it's now that that's not what I can do. Like I said, the presence of one person should not affect the joy I can have with all the other people that will be there. And that's my goal. I don't have to give anybody the time of day I don't want to give to. Okay? It doesn't matter if I'm related. Okay? These are boundaries. And sometimes you have to set your boundaries, and sometimes you have to be strong enough and brave enough and courageous enough to stick to them. You don't have to be mean, okay? Because that can just cause tension. That can just cause bad things. But I don't owe them any more time than I choose to give them. And I don't mean them, but a specific person, okay? Because that's my choice. And I'm not going to force myself. I love to bits everybody else I'm going to see that day. And I'm excited to see them because it's been a year since I've seen them. But I made that choice for me. And the feelings may change, the feelings may come, I'm not sure, but I'm preparing myself that way. And I'm not saying anybody else has to, but I know that if I'm prepared, I'll be better prepared for those who may not be. I'll be better prepared for those who aren't sure how they're going to handle it, who aren't sure how they're going to feel. And that's what's important to me, is making sure that those people that I do love and cherish and care about, have a good time. Okay, so again, continue to remember who you are. You're not any different from the person you were years ago. You just realized your importance in this world and how much you mean to other people. You're becoming accepting of your gifts and your talents as well. Remember, when you feel broken, it's just your soul reshaping itself for another transformation. Again, when you know who I'm talking to, feel broken, it's just your just your soul reshaping itself for another transformation. Transformations are amazing. They're beautiful. This one was also in there. Dream big. Aha. These are my old cards. Shovel in the moment. Bridging the gap between surviving and thriving. Yeah, bridging the gap. No one got that, right? I literally had surviving and thriving and bridging the gap in between, and nobody got it. So, but anyways, this is my mental health advocacy. This is what I do. But anyways, dream big, love like you mean it, breathing in each moment and savoring every second of every day. Life is short, even if you live to be 100. The world will wait, but why make it? This trip has reminded, okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to read that again. I thought I was reading somebody's quote. Apparently I was reading my brain. Dream big, love like you mean it, breathing in each moment and savoring every second of every day. Life is short, even if you live to be 100. The world will wait, but why make it? This trip has reminded you that even if you face rejection, at some point you will find acceptance, and that will make all the difference in pushing forward. Manifesting positivity. I am manifesting wonderful situations and things. There you go. There's your affirmation for the day. Affirm that. I am manifesting wonderful situations and things. If you're not a manifester and you're a prayer, which yes is the same thing, do that. Okay, do that. Do it however you do it. Do it how it brings. Do it in the way that brings you joy. So the reason I was glad I saw that is because last night, older sibling and I we were chit chatting. We were like all over the place with our, talking about cars and talking about, how one car looked like another car, and then we brought up one, and this particular car gave me a trigger memory, and it was not one I'd thought about in probably decades. But I realized that because I'm healing, a lot of things are going to start reminding me of a lot of bad memories and a lot of bad things that happened to me when I was a child. And as that goes along, I find that they're coming up so they can come out. And I needed to heal that. So this morning I was writing in my book, and the Floof book, and I literally had a major ass soul cry. Major. And while I was crying, I felt myself right in the middle, knowing I could go one way or the other. And I said to myself, I have to make this decision now. And so I wrote down that memory, every detail of every bit of it. And as I was crying, I decided I finally faced this particular memory. I wrote it all down. I reminded myself, that reminded the little floof inside of me, the little inner child inside of me, that it's going to be okay. We're okay. And when I was done crying, I just sat there for a moment, and believe it or not, Pearl Jam's Alive came on, okay? The subject line has nothing to do with what I went through. But all I kept hearing is, I'm alive, and I am alive. I survived these things. I've survived my brain all these years. I could get it to a place where I can balance. But we've all have. Whether you've been through trauma or not, whether you suffer from PTSD or not, whatever it is that you go through, you don't have to go through PTSD, CPTSD, or trauma to have brain issues. Some people don't. Some people, they just have depression. Sometimes it's just a really bad, icky, ridiculously lame chemical imbalance. But don't beat yourself up over that. Don't throw yourself under the bus over that. Find a way to heal yourself. Find a way to help yourself go from surviving to thriving. See, a lot of people don't share their feelings because they feel, well, nothing bad happened to me in my life, but I'm talking to all these other people, right? So it's just like the first season of This Is Us, okay? They had, there was a, like, I guess it was an Overeaters Anonymous type of group or whatever, but there were all these heavier people there, all these beautiful plus size people there, and a beautiful thin person there. And the thin person was like, I ate this today, but I feel fat, and la la la. And all of them were looking at her like, you're stupid. Why are you even here? Why? Because even though you couldn't see it, because they all saw her as being what they wanted to look like, she still had the same mindset they did. She hated her body. She had severe body image issues. But at the time, I was even like, wow. But then as the character grew, as the character expanded, and you started to see where she was coming from and how much she truly hated herself, you started thinking, you know what? We may not look the same on the outside, but a lot of us feel the same way on the inside. A lot of us may have that struggle that we go through. Sometimes this, for me, happened because I'm an emotional eater. That's how I deal with my pain. I emotionally eat. And I'm learning to nip that in the bud. I'm learning to learn these triggers. And I know that if I can do it, anybody else can do it. Because there was a point in my life when I didn't think I would survive. And then there was a point in my life where I realized, and I told baby sibling and older sibling, I just realized I said, after I promised and really wrote it down and put it in, put it on paper that I would never, ever, ever take my own life. The promise I made to myself and to others, because if I make it to somebody else, I will keep it. And my friend that passed away, I made a promise to her that I would never do that. And she knew how badly I suffered with depression. And I realized after that, I'd found a loophole. And I realized I was trying to eat myself to death. And yeah, I'm not kidding. I was literally trying to eat myself to death. I was having chest pains. I was, nothing bad, no heart attacks or anything. But I think it was my body warning me, you need to stop. And then all of a sudden, I remember just bursting into tears and saying, oh my God. And then I older sibling was still asleep. It was in the morning, so I called baby sibling. And, because I didn't want to go across the hall and bother her. She has enough trouble sleeping. But I remember just sitting in my room with my door closed, laying in bed, thinking, oh my God. And I was soul crying. It was that hard. Now, to make it even more interesting, this was last year. Just 2020. Okay, the dumpster fire year. I had made that promise in 2017. But last year, that thought surfaced. Like, wouldn't the world be better without me? And I said, no, you need to be in this world. You are meant to be in this world. And that's how I found my loophole. I just started emotionally eating the worst I've ever done in my life. And again, that's when it hit me that this is what I was trying to do. And so now I have to not only watch my mental health and check in with that every day, but I have to make sure that when there's something I want to eat, I have to check my emotions now at the door to make sure that it's not something I'm feeding, but instead just something I'm craving. Not craving because, that I'm not feeding my emotion, but I'm just, feeding a craving, And that's hard, but that's what shadow work is. It's knowing these things. It's knowing these triggers. Last night, when sibling mentioned the make and model of the car, my face just dropped. She's like, are you okay? And I'm all like, yeah. I said, I had a trigger memory. And the whole memory was playing itself out in my head like a movie, like over and over again. But the minute, but she's all like, I am so sorry. But the minute she said that, and I took a moment to think about it, and I said, no, this is good, because I need to get it out of me. I need to get it out of my head and out of the system. I need to heal it. I need to forgive that situation, and I need to remind that inner child of mine that everything is okay, that, we don't have to worry about that anymore, and that it was not my fault. And when I did that, it stopped. I mean, I'm talking about a trigger memory now, and, this morning, again, when I was writing it, it was just in tears and crying and just, and I made that choice, and then I thought, you know what, I had to wake sibling up because she has a doctor's appointment this morning. So I went across the hall into her room. I woke her up, and, she's like, well, just give me 10 more minutes. And this is her, okay? I am not your personal snooze button, all right? I do not have a button written on me that says snooze. But I told her, I said, I just really need a hug. And she sat up and she hugged me, and then we talked about it. And it was better. It was better. It was better because I had done all this previous healing. I had learned how to read my triggers. I'm learning still how to read my triggers. And because of that, this is why I'm going on to, this is why I am finally moving on to thriving. And I really shouldn't say it like finally moving on to thriving. We move to thriving when we're ready to. Now, some people never get there because they choose to wallow in their pain. They choose to not take accountability for their actions. And they choose to just complain about it and cry about it and do all those things. If you want to get better, you have to choose to get better. It doesn't just happen. Okay? I didn't just wake up one day and say, woo, I'm thriving. I woke up a lot of times saying that, actually, to be honest. And I knew I wasn't, but I was trying to convince myself. And then the other day I was sitting at the window and I was just mellow. I was so zen without being zen. It wasn't funny. I was just staring out the window, remembering the view I used to have before the tree blocked it from my old bedroom window at my dad's house. And all I kept thinking was, there is literally no feeling swirling around inside me right now. And I knew it then, that I have gone from surviving to thriving. I was learning how to handle those triggers. Okay, now what I also found interesting is that I decided to pull my card of the day through an app that I have. And it really it hit home with what I had gone through. And it was the Hierophant, or the Hierophant, I don't know how you say it, but it was reversed. Now, a lot of people think reverse cards like, oh, but it's a rebel, a maverick, or confinement. It says, let that rebellion roar. You are breaking free from the norm and challenging the status quo. Be careful of an authority figure who wants you to conform to rules. That authority figure could be the ego inside of all of us, saying, wait, no, you can't leave these walls. These walls are safe for us. F your walls. I don't want to be hiding behind them anymore. Okay? If people are going to try to hurt me, they're going to try to hurt me. How I deal with it is what determines what happens. Do I deal with it in grace? Or do I resist and fight back? I don't want to go in guns blazing in any situation, period, across the board. That person is not me anymore. There will be times when I do. I'm not going to lie to you. There will probably be times when I do. But right now, I'm in a place where I realize that if I go in, it's kind of that whole term, right? Grace under fire. If you can not even control, if you can learn to go with the flow, to stop resisting, a lot of times things tend to work out. I would say the majority of the actually every time things work out. I guess the reason I kind of stumble over that one is because they may not work out the way you want them to. But they will end up eventually working out the way they're meant to. And so I try to go into this thinking that, spiritually, it means this can be a sign that you need to let go of traditional beliefs that no longer serve you. Explore what works for you. DNA makes me related to people. What I feel in my heart is where my family lives. My family, my friends, that's where my heart lives. You can't ask who your relatives are. Okay, or you can't choose your relatives. At least not as a human. But like I said, and I don't mean, for anybody in my family that might watch this, I don't mean there to be any ill will. but these are my boundaries and these are how I feel. This is how I feel. And, but I realize I could go two ways. I could make a scene, or I could just be like, just go with the flow, see what happens. And for me, that's what I'm choosing to do. It's 12 hours of my life. Not even 12 hours of my life. If it's less than 12 hours of my life. And I'll deal with it. And because I'm going to be able to be grace under fire, I'm going to be able to help other people navigate the day. Instead of being angry and just fueling the fire, I will be able to help other people navigate the day. If there's any navigation that needs to be done. My aunt and uncle's house is a huge place. So, and we have fun every year. And that's my goal. My goal is to be with my cousins, see my aunt and uncle, give them big squeezes. It was so neat seeing them last week, even under the circumstances I saw them under. Well, my dad too. But it was nice to get those squeezes, those hugs, because I love them to bits. They're my, I do. And sometimes I just have to separate myself. But that doesn't mean I have to surrender my boundaries to anybody. I create my boundaries for a reason. Other people create their boundaries for a reason. Because I choose to have joy and love and positivity in my life. And I don't need to be told who I should like, who I should not like. I don't wish any ill will on anybody, even bad people. Okay? What I do wish is that they get the help they need. What I do wish is that they find their peace. And because what I wish for other people, I don't want coming back at me. I am literally one of those kinds of people who gets instant paybacks and instant karma. So if I wish bad things on people, it's going to come back to me, and I don't want that. So maybe it is a little selfish when you try to wish people well. But for me, and anybody who knows me, that when I do that, I'm actually coming from a good place. I'm not coming from a bad place. But wishing someone well and having a boundary are two different things. It doesn't mean I have to like you. It just means that I do want the best for you. And I do want you, I do want people who have hurt me in my life and hurt people I care about in my life to find their path, to find their healing. A lot of times people do bad things because they've been hurt. That's why we need accountability. If you don't have accountability, you don't have healing. If you're not willing to face what has caused you pain, you are not going to heal. And a lot of people refuse to face what has hurt them in life or the bad things they've done in life. You know what? I've not done bad things to like the extent of super bad. But I've hurt people in my life. And I know I've hurt people in my life. And it doesn't matter how many sorries I can give, those things stay. And so you have to work a little bit harder to try to show them, look, this is why this happened. There was a time when poor older sibling caught the brunt of a lot of my, I don't even know what to call them. I don't want to say tantrums because they were not tantrums. I would say just straight up anxiety, depression riddled meltdowns. When you're having a meltdown like that, anybody who knows when you feel broken and you have a meltdown, you are literally like a punching bag out of control, or punching gloves out of control. You will hit in any direction because you just feel like the whole world is closing in on you and you can't breathe. And it's the scariest feeling ever. I told older sibling this morning, I said, there's a part of me that I wrote down in my book about resentment. And I said, why me? Why did this have to happen to me? Why does this happen to anybody? And I said, why couldn't I find a different way around to being a positive person, to being this person that shares things? And that's exactly it right there. There are a lot of positive people in this world. There are a lot of positive people sharing their good vibes and telling you to have good vibes. And then there's also a lot of us sharing our positive vibes, trying to show people to have good vibes, and also show people that you literally can go from surviving to thriving, because I've done it. I've done it. And it's been a hell of a process. It's been a hell of a journey. There are still things that are coming up that are being healed, but I did it. I went from pain and trauma and just feeling like I wasn't worth anything and feeling broken and not understanding why my parents loved me because, I was not who they thought I was. They saw their beautiful child who, oh yeah, she's shy, she's quiet, but they didn't know why I was shy and quiet. And there's no way they could have ever known. No way they could have ever known. But now I feel worthy. I feel, like everything that I felt I didn't deserve as a child from them, that I do. And it does kind of suck because my mom's gone now. But don't want to cry. Because I just want to get through this so I can send you off on your day. But I do feel that now. My entire family. How much they all love me. I feel worthy of that. And from my friends and, from, I'm sure, the people I'll meet down the road. I feel like a brand new person. I'm not a brand new person. I've literally just washed all the muck and the mud and the crap and the bullshit and all the ickiness off of me. And that doesn't mean you're not going to get dirt on you from time to time. That doesn't mean you're not going to need a little bit of a dusting. Right? Yeah. I'll finish. Okay, so there you go. So even if you need to dust some things off, if you allow yourself to take accountability for your actions, allow yourself to heal what other people may have done to you, and know that you are allowed to set boundaries, that you're allowed to create whatever space makes you feel comfortable, so long as it's not a wall, a fortified fort. Okay, don't wall yourself in. Boundaries are these invisible, beautiful lines of energy that tell you, I'm keeping my energy all vibing high over here. I'm being rad today, not sad. You can be sad over there, but I'm going to be rad over here. That's a boundary. And so to finish this off, a long time ago, when older siblings' mom was still alive. Again, older sibling is like my adopted sibling. We adopted each other as sisters as adults. Mom Barbara, I miss her so much. That was some walking wisdom right there. So she was a very strong-minded woman. And one day she heard, I didn't realize she heard Laura and I talking, but Laura and I were talking, and I said, well, I don't think they like me very much because, they're super cool and they're so put together. And this is before my healing really started. I mean, older sibling really was a catalyst for a lot of my healing because she opened my eyes to depression. And opening my eyes to depression was allowed me, it was like opening the first door, to a lot of different doors on this particular depression journey or mental health journey. And I was like, I don't think they like me. They're super cool. They're really nice. They're way out of my league as far as people go. And, I know that she likes you, and, you pretty much kind of helped raise her for a while because you managed her as a kid, and now she's one of your best friends. And all of a sudden, Mom Barbara comes storming out of the room, and she's like, you know what? And I'm like, oh, I looked at Laura, and I'm like, you were in trouble? And she looks at me, she's all, no, you. And I'm like, I was stunned. That was the only time that she ever did that to me. It was the first and last time, but she made her point. And what she said to me was, nobody is better than you. You are no better than anybody else. We're all here to do what it is we're meant to do in this world. So don't ever think anybody is better than you. And that makes me want to cry right now, because I think after all these years, I feel the impact of those words. I really do. We're all here for a purpose, even if it's somebody who hurt you, so you could see how strong you really are. So you can see for yourself what you have made it through, what you have survived, and how you deserve to go from surviving to thriving. Right? Because you do. Find your way to bridge that gap between surviving and thriving, and allow yourself to just see you and to love you, because nobody is better than you. You are no better than anybody else, and we're all here to do whatever it is we're meant to do in this world and to bring good things into it. Okay? So I hope everybody has a wonderful, 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 wonderful day. I will see you all back here on the Aloha Perspective with me, Shelly Marie. Facebook Live, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tomorrow's Self-Care Wednesday, so I think Self-Care Wednesday is just in time this year, or this week. So again, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.